Good evening, dear students and parents. I, Priya Malhotra, on behalf of Roots Education, once again welcomes you all for this workshop. So the topic for today is ways to deal with stress during NEET preparation. So to have with this, first of all, we have with us Air Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor sir and Dr. N.K Sharma sir. So I request our Vice Chairman, Air Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor sir, to please introduce the audience about the topic and our guest panelists for today. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Priya. Good evening, friends. Good evening, all dear students, and good evening, dear parents. And if your parents have not joined us, then dear students, please ask them to join us, because stress during examination is a common factor which not only you undergo, but your family members also undergo the same stress. And whatever stress you feel gets passed on. It is not a communicable disease, but definitely it communicates more than what a disease would like to communicate. So it's nothing like COVID, but the stress is worse than COVID. So with us today, we have got Dr. N.K Sharma.
Hello.
He has been there with us for all the such NEET preparation webinars. And this is just to facilitate all of you for various topics related to NEET. He's very familiar with all of you, but still I would like to introduce him once again. All those who join us regularly, you need no introduction for Dr. N.K Sharma, but those who have joined for the first time, I think you all must know that he's a very popular figure amongst all the students. He's a graduate from Lala Lajpat Rai Medical College, Meerut. He took upon himself the responsibility for educating students to qualify NEET examination. And yes, I can understand many of you are feeling procrastination. That also will be addressed by him during his talk. But a brief introduction. Dr. N.K Sharma has been very much involved with the students. And you know why he's so popular? Because he speaks your language. And he speaks in a language which you will understand. That is why his classes are popular. He's a very popular figure. And many of his students have achieved very high ranks in NEET. Most of them are now probably doing post-graduation in different universities. And they all still tend to remain in touch with him. They still take counseling from him, because he is above all an excellent counselor too. Right. The way he counsels, the way he tries to relieve your stress during examination, I think I have hardly seen anybody getting involved with students to that effect. Now, topic for today is stress during NEET preparation. You know, any examinations are stress, but a competitive examination where seats are limited, dreams are many, and desires are many, you are bound to get stressed. You have a lot of colleagues. Some of you are in the habit of putting others under stress by trying to show off their knowledge, making you feel, yo, aapko ye bhi nahi pata. So these type things will happen. How to deal with such situations, how to deal with the stress during preparation, I think nobody better than Dr. N.K Sharma, who can actually tell you the ways and means and mechanisms to overcome those stressful situations. We'll keep it interactive. He will give you some of his experiences and some of the mantras to deal with stress. You can keep on asking questions and keep on asking things that bother you, because the factors that trigger stress vary from individual to individual. So you can feel free to share with us the factors that trigger stress in you, and we will try to solve your issues and try to de-stress. Okay, so over to Dr. N.K Sharma. And Dr. N.K Sharma, once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Largely noble exercise which we do for the students.
No. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words as always, sir. It has been a blessing working with you. Thank you for the cooperation that you have given over a very, very long period of time, and the guidance is always cherished. So, dear students and parents, we were talking about a very important word time and again. This word is stress. So, because I am teaching biology, I am a medical professional as well. Can I ask you a question right at the beginning? So, a teacher never changes the ways. So, once a teacher, always a teacher. So, can I begin with a question here? Do you know that what hormone can be released because of the stress in the body? Whenever the body is subjected to any kind of stress, the body responds by secreting a chemical messenger. This chemical messenger is a hormone. Can you tell me just by writing in your chat that what is this hormone that we are talking about? You are appearing in NEET entrance exam. Incidentally, this will be a very important question for your NEET entrance examination biology section as well. So do we know this hormone that we are talking about? Madam, dekhiye, is anybody giving answer? The stress hormone. No. So the stress hormone predominantly would be, ultimately, this would be cortisol. So we will be looking at a very, very important hormone. This hormone is cortisol. So let me just dim the light a little bit so that you are able to see it better. So this hormone that we are looking at is cortisol. So it is a steroid. It is produced by adrenal cortex. It increases blood glucose level. It decreases. It is a very potent anti-inflammatory agent. It increases suddenly the blood glucose level, causes gluconeogenesis. And for gluconeogenesis, it breaks down proteins. And these proteins include antibodies. And that is the problem with stress. So in stress, to maintain the blood glucose level so that you get energy to combat the stressful condition, the body starts gluconeogenesis, which means it starts synthesizing glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. And one of the most important non-carbohydrate source utilized in this manner would be protein. And this protein actually can work very, very differently in your body. But now you are breaking protein to make glucose. And that is a big problem because these proteins would be antibodies as well. So it's a well-known medical fact that people who are chronically under stress are more likely to get recurring infections, are more likely to develop very dangerous complications later in the life, say for example, including the big C or the cancer. So I am telling you the basic problem with this stress. So this is cortisol. There is another word. This word is called as anxiety. So there is another word. This word is anxiety. So let us be very sure that what we are talking about when we talk about anxiety. Now, anxiety is a perception of an event that is going to happen in the future. Now, please remember this very, very important. When you talk about fear, fear is something real. Fear is something related to the present scenario. So that is, and then the reaction may be good, the reaction may be bad, the reaction may be excessive. But fear is something which is perceived as real. It is imminent. It is related to the present. This is what is fear. The difference between fear and anxiety is that anxiety is related to future. Your entrance examination result. So the examination results of NEET 2022, this would be an anxiety for you. And this anxiety includes catastrophizing the outcome of a future event that may or may not happen. Future में कोई चीज होगी कि नहीं होगी, कितनी खराब होगी, उसको जरूरत से ज्यादा अपने दिमाग में catastrophize कर देना, इसको anxiety कहा जाता है. So this is what is anxiety. Anxiety, again, I am saying future event. We do not know what will be the extent. We are worrying today itself, day in and day out, and we have thought about the worst possible outcomes, that this is what is going to happen to me. I have catastrophized, and that is why I am not able to put any effort into the preparation of the entrance examination. So this thing is anxiety. I hope this is now absolutely clear कि anxiety कहते किसे हैं. Now, there is a specific anxiety which is called as test anxiety. So now let us look at test anxiety. So we are talking about science behind this thing. Now, please remember, in anxiety, your body responds by secreting the catecholamines. These catecholamines include adrenaline and noradrenaline. And it is an established fact again that some level of anxiety is actually beneficial So you need to have a little bit of anxiety to perform very well in the entrance examination. There is a certain level of arousal, the alertness in the mind, the wakefulness, the cognitive function should be aroused to a certain level so that you are able to perform optimally in the entrance examination. So some amount of anxiety is not bad, but the problem is that when you catastrophize the thing, when you are unable to concentrate, when you have cognitive symptoms, say for example you are feeling insomnia, you are having tremors, you are having some somatic problems, extreme fatigue, you are unable to concentrate, you are highly hyper irritable, all those things that are affecting your day-to-day life and functioning, then it becomes an anxiety neurosis, and it is bad, and it actually creates a monster in the mind and does not allow the students to actually work. And then comes the procrastination, etc., the terms that sir was using about. So first we have understood what is anxiety, how much anxiety is good. There is a little bit of anxiety that is actually needed, but extra anxiety is always bad. And what can be the cause of this test anxiety? Well, number one cause, according to me, is that I have seen students saying or making this particular exam similar to the worth of their life. So that means you have equated unnecessarily one test. That means you are saying this is equal to the worth of my life. If I get through this entrance exam, I am worthy. If I am not going through, then I am worthless. This is again catastrophizing. This is number one reason for the test anxiety that I have seen over the years that happens in the student. They think that only one exam means life, and this performance in a single exam will make them worthy or worthless. This is absolutely incorrect. After all, it is just an exam. It does not decide anything for the next coming 70 years. Believe me, it is true. A single exam does not decide the worth of anybody at all. Number two, you are having a fear of failure. You have a fear of failure, and fear of failure includes that you are saying that you are letting down, say for example, your parents, and you are letting down, say for example, your peer groups, the friends, etc., your relatives. So you have a fear. आपको डर है कहीं मैं फेल हो जाऊंगा तो कहीं मेरे जो पेरेंट्स हैं they will be feeling bad about it, my friends will think bad about me, they can make मजाक बना सकते हैं मेरा, all those type of things. And then there is a fear of alienation as well. So you feel कि अगर मैंने अच्छा नहीं किया तो शायद लोग मुझसे उतना ही प्यार नहीं करेंगे जितना आज करते हैं. They may feel that I am not worthy of their attention. So these are the things, the peer pressure, the pressure created by the society. And I tell again and again people that your language is 80% non-verbal. So it may happen. I have seen parents many times, they say that we do not create pressure, but the way they talk, they actually indirectly they are conveying some signals to their kid that yes, there is a pressure cooker situation. They themselves are under pressure and they are conveying this idea. So if the parents are listening here, my humble request is that there is already a tough situation your kid is in. There is a severe entrance examination, very few seats, as sir has said, and large number of candidates appearing. The least that we can do is to keep the kid actually absolutely pressure free. And as I told you, that what you speak, probably more important than speaking, is that what you show to your child is very, very important. So this is the basic thing that I introduced about anxiety. Now we are, I think, ready to take some questions. Sir. Hello. Sir, सुन पा रहे हैं? Sir?
I can hear you. Okay, there are some questions in the chat box. I will just tell you. One of the questions is, why does the brain stop working sometimes?
Sir, आप बताइए. You Nobody can give a better answer than a person from armed forces, sir.
No, okay. I'll make an attempt to answer, but I request you to add on to this because it is a matter of fact that what we call as a brain freeze. The brain freezes at times. And when does the brain freeze? The brain freezes when you have succumbed to that stress which you have been facing for a long time. That means you have become a victim of the stress. Your brain will freeze. It will stop thinking. It will not be able to move forward. You know that you know the answer to the question, but your brain is blank. Yes. You cannot recall. Okay. This means that you are now under a situation which is no longer under stress. You are under extreme stress. And your brain has stopped functioning. That is how you get this brain freeze. Now, the issue is not a brain freeze. This moment happens with each one of us. You must have seen, even while playing matches, you have seen that Steve Smith's brain froze. He admitted that my brain froze. Okay, so I didn't know. I gestured at the pavilion to get the input, whether should I go for a review or not, which is not allowed. But his brain froze. And when brain freeze, you don't look at logical answers. You look at illogical things. That is what brain freezes are about, and your brain starts thinking. Why does it stop working sometimes? It stops working because you have not been able to answer a few questions and you feel tumko kuch nahi aata hai, and you allow the anxiety to get the better of you. And when anxiety takes over, your hands start shivering, your mind stops working, and you feel all is lost. And brain becomes absolutely blank. So how to avoid this? The important thing is that how to avoid this. Today we are talking about preparation for Neet, but this happens during examinations. Your brain will freeze. To avoid that, you must take certain steps during preparation so that you do not have brain freeze during examination. Some of the steps have already been told to you. So as we move forward, we will discuss those steps as to how to prevent brain freeze. Okay. And you will know that once you take those steps, your brain will not freeze during the examination. So we will discuss over the, in the process of our consultation, we'll discuss these steps and we'll come back to the steps that you should be taking to avoid brain freeze. Second question is, during preparation of Neet, how to overcome overthinking?
So let us call spade a spade, sir. Let me answer this. Can I, sir?
Please, please.
So that is what I was saying. Anxiety में आप catastrophize करते हैं. आप worst scenario सोच लेते हैं आपके साथ होने वाला है. आप एक टेस्ट कराने जा रहे हैं, मान ले अपनी बॉडी का अल्ट्रासाउंड कराने जा रहे हैं. आप क्या सोच के जा रहे हैं? आप क्या सोच के जा रहे हैं? कहीं बाहर से ये सोच के जा रहे हैं मुझे क्या निकलेगा, कहीं ये ना निकल जाए, कहीं वो ना निकल जाए. ये जो कैटास्ट्रोफाइज जो शब्द मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, ये सबसे बड़ी गड़बड़ है एंजाइटी के साथ में. ओवर थिंकिंग, जब आपने अपने आप ही शब्द इस्तेमाल कर दिया ओवर थिंकिंग, तो आपको खुद पता है कि ये चीज इर्राशनल है. अगर आपको ये नहीं पता होता कि जो आप कर रहे हैं वो इर्राशनल है, तो आप लिखते नहीं. अभी आपके अंदर इंसाइट है, आपने शब्द ही ये लिखा है, थिंकिंग नहीं लिखा है, आपने लिखा है ओवर थिंकिंग. आप बिना बात के उस चीज को, तो इसीलिए लेट गो, ये एक बहुत बड़ा मंत्र है. देखिए, after all there will be 95 questions, 90 questions in biology, 90 questions in physics and chemistry that you need to answer, and there are bound to be some questions हो सकता है जो पहले गो में आपसे ना हो. अभी जो बच्चा कह रहा था कि कुछ ब्रेन फ्रीज भी हो जाता है, तो क्या ब्रेन फ्रीज अगर किसी क्वेश्चन पे हो रहा है तो आप उसे भूल करके आगे जाने की आपने प्रैक्टिस की है जो सर ने कहा है. सो द मोर यू स्वेट इन प्रैक्टिस द लेस यू ब्लीड इन वॉर. तो इसीलिए प्रैक्टिस कहा ही इसीलिए जाता है, इस तरह के क्वेश्चन को छोड़ के आगे कैसे जाना है, अपने दिमाग को बार बार ये समझाना है, आफ्टर ऑल इट इज जस्ट अ सिंगल क्वेश्चन, इट इज वर्थ ओनली 4 मार्क्स। अगर मैं इसी में अटका रहा तो अगले 16 नंबर मेरे निकल जाएंगे, और आपने बार बार यही प्रैक्टिस करनी है, इस तरह के क्वेश्चन को छोड़ के आगे जाना है। बच्चे छोड़ करके आगे चले जाते हैं लेकिन उनका दिमाग पीछे ही रह जाता है, दे मूव बट दे कीप ऑन थिंकिंग अबाउट द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन एंड दे स्पॉइल द एंटायर पेपर, एंड दिस इज what This is exactly what sir was talking about, that you need to practice. और आप अपने प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट में यही प्रैक्टिस कीजिए कि जहां भी क्वेश्चन फंसता है सॉरी जहां भी क्वेश्चन फंसता है उसको छोड़ करके आपने आगे चलना है। लेट गो, देयर विल बी अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस दैट यू विल हैव टू लीव, आपको छोड़ने पड़ेंगे, और हो सकता है दूसरी बारी में जब आप वापस आए और आपने बहुत अच्छा आगे परफॉर्म किया है और आपके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आया है, आप दूसरी बार जब उसी क्वेश्चन को रिविजिट करेंगे तो मोर देन 50% ऑफ द क्वेश्चन आपको रिकलेक्ट हो जाएंगे जो आपने पहली बारी में छोड़ा था, अगर आपने आगे का पेपर अच्छा किया है। सो मूव ऑन, लेट गो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड्स हैं एग्जाम के अंदर, और इन्हीं की प्रैक्टिस आपको अपने प्रैक्टिस पेपर्स में करनी चाहिए। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, सर आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
बिल्कुल सही आपने बताया। अभी वो यही सवाल इसी के आसपास घूम रहे हैं, लेकिन एक क्वेश्चन आया है, सर एनी टाइम टेबल चार्ट इफ यू कैन प्रोवाइड अस अकॉर्डिंग टू सब्जेक्ट्स।
सर देखिए, इसमें देयर इज अ वेरी सिंपल रूल आई टीच, आई टेल माय स्टूडेंट्स, सर when they come to me for time management, I ask them, do they have a time inventory? Now what does it mean? जब वो मेरे से कहते हैं कि सर हमें टाइम मैनेज नहीं हो रहा, तो मैं उनसे 2 दिन के लिए ये कहता हूं कि लिख के लाइए आप करते क्या है। So for example, you make a pie chart and divide the pie chart into, say for example, various parts, and let us say this is 10 a.m. to 12 noon to 2 p.m. and please record for 2 days what you actually do, because this is where, when you become aware that what actually you are doing with your time, you will be able to manage time, you will be able to understand what are the activities which are impactful, that are going to create an impact in the result of the NEET entrance examination, what are those activities that you are doing and probably are not required, they are not urgent, they are not important, they should be left immediately. Now this includes your social media time, every time. So please remember, you always have a time inventory with you. And the second very important tool that I have seen is, every 3 hours ask yourself a simple question: what I have done in the last 3 hours, does it take me nearer to my goal of getting selected in the NEET entrance examination? जो मैंने पिछले 3 घंटे में किया है, क्या वो मुझे मेरे रिजल्ट के पास लेके जा रहा है? आप देखना, आपका टाइम टेबल अपने आप बन जाएगा। आप केवल इस काम को 2 दिन करके देखिए। एवरी 3 hours आस्क अ सिंपल क्वेश्चन: व्हाट आई हैव डन इन द लास्ट 3 hours, डज इट टेक मी टू माय गोल और नॉट? इमीडिएटली यू विल हैव ऑल द इनसाइट्स दैट यू नीड and nobody else can provide you. And then obviously there would be some subject specific thing. First you make inventory. In the next talk we will actually can discuss a model timetable as well. Ji sir.
Okay, there is another question which is somewhat related to brain freeze. Sometimes due to stress we are blank when the paper comes in front of us. So how can this be avoided?
Sir, I have found this breathing control very, very effective. Yes. So that it brings you back to the present, and it helps you focus on the present situation that you have it in hand. So this is a breathing control. There are various methods by which you can actually control the breathing. मैंने भी सर से ही पूछा था एक बार, सर ने मुझे काउंटिंग मेथड बताया था. I will request सर प्लीज एक बार और थोड़ा सा बच्चे को बताइए कि हाउ टू कंट्रोल ब्रीदिंग. जब आप ब्रेथ को कंट्रोल करते हैं एंड यू फोकस ऑन योर ब्रेथ, believe me, it's a very strong technique. to avoid distraction. It will bring back you to the examination hall, will divert your attention to the task at hand, and you will be able to do much better. And again, this is a matter of practice. Just 10 minutes per day if you practice from now till NEET entrance examination, I am absolutely sure this can create a difference of 5 to 6 questions. And 5 to 6 question means something that you all are aware of. What is the meaning of 5 to 6 questions? Sir, the breathing technique, please, sir.
Okay. So all you have to do is you take a long breath, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then release your breath 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 6, 4. There are many rules. You follow the 4, 6, 4 rule. Okay. By doing this, what happens is that once you do it repeatedly, your mind is taken off, you are able to concentrate better, and you are able to get back onto the question where you had frozen. This is during the examination.
Yes.
But to prevent any brain freeze in the examination, my suggestion to all of you is that when you prepare for the examination, please concentrate. Please ensure that you do not overstudy. Study hard, but study smart. And study smart means that, we call smart as study specific. S stands for specific. M stands for measurable. Okay. A stands for achievable. Means don't start reading books and don't start reading topics which are out of context. What you can achieve during that given time, only focus on those things. Then study what is relevant. And T is have a time structured plan with you. That is studying smart. And when you study smart, you lay down that, okay, you will study. See, we all know that your attention span is 45 minutes. I am Dr. Sharma, has done more work on this. Your attention span for anything is 45 minutes. So keep your studies for 45 minutes. Take some break after that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes break. Then study again for 45 minutes. If you're going to study for 3 hours together at a stretch, you will go into stress. So try to take breaks between your lesson plans and study. Second issue is this, that once you take those breaks and study and go as per your timetable, do not forget that you must create in your timetable certain recreation time which you can give for meditation, for deep breathing exercises, for indulging in your hobbies, for interacting with your peers, interacting with your siblings, interacting with your parents. Have this time breaks with you so that your mind is not locked only in one thing, but it gets some amount of relaxation and diversion. So do all this, and I'm very sure that you will be able to progress. Always remember, don't go 5 steps higher. If you climb a mountain bit by bit, you can climb a mountain comfortably. But if you try to think you reach the top immediately, nobody can climb a mountain immediately unless you're dropped there by helicopter. So you have to climb a step one by one. You remember, if you try to climb a ladder by taking 2 steps, you are liable to fall. So take step by step. So don't look that I have to reach there. Oh, it is so far. The mountain is so hard to climb. You will never reach the top of the mountain because you're thinking there and working here. So when you're working at the lower step, be there and step by step move upwards. Don't think that I have to reach there and you are only there and you are never be able to reach there. So work your way upwards step by step. If you do this, you will never go under stress. You will be able to complete your timetable as per your requirements. Do think of the future in the long term, but for the immediate, think and focus on what you are doing. That focus and concentration on that topic will take you to where you want to be. Don't try to reach there now. You try to reach that, you will go into trouble. Third thing is what Dr. N.K Sharma already told you. Please avoid your social media as far as possible. I am telling you, you get onto your mobile for part-time only, and you never know how time flies. And suddenly you will go under stress. Oh, I spent 1.5 hours on social media apps. उसको दूर रखो अपने से. एग्जामिनेशन प्रिपरेशन के टाइम में सोशल मीडिया शुड बी द लास्ट थिंग दैट शुड बी trying to be a source of entertainment or recreation to you. It is a source of waste of time, and it is waste or to accessing certain information which will put you under stress. So try to stay away from social media apps as much as possible. And one thing which gave me stress was you start comparing yourself with your peers. Remember one thing, some of your peers will know some topics better than you. It is also a fact that you will know some topics better than your peers. So don't allow peers to put you under stress. Use their strengths to minimize your weaknesses rather than allowing their strengths to become your weaknesses. So if your peers are strong in biology, in endocrine system, and you are weak, if they try to show off their knowledge in endocrine, imbibe it. Try to learn those concepts and overcome your weakness. Don't let them try to stress you out. Oh, you don't know this also, that cortisol is a stress hormone. That will put you under stress. It's such a cortisol is a stress hormone. Name 2 more hormones that are stress hormones. Usse counter question karo. What is a fight and flight? I never understood what is this fight and flight hormone. Fight and flight hormone. Ask this type of questions so that you get more knowledge from a person who is trying to show off his knowledge to you. So don't allow your peers to stress you. Use their strengths to overcome your weaknesses. Now, Dr. Sharma, please continue. Give them some more suggestions on this.
Sir, this is what I always tell, that everything is made actually twice. Once in your mind, and then you are able to make it properly physically as well. So if you want to achieve a particular target, first believe in yourself. I always say that first step is believing in yourself. And let me tell you that for the past 24 years, I have been in contact with hundreds of these students. And whenever the student thinks that he can, he is right. And whenever the student actually thinks that he cannot, even then he is right. So I have seen that more than IQ, EQ actually plays a more important role in the success in life. So NEET entrance examination, for that matter, if you know that biology paper will come almost entirely, almost all questions will come from the lines of NCERT. And you have been reading the lines of NCERT for past 2 years. So now just try to think logically. There are only 500 pages and you have read these 500 pages for the past 700 years. And obviously you know it, you have read it many times. Now the thing is that whether this will work in the examination hall or not, whether you will be able to recollect in the entrance examination or not, whether you will be committing a lot of unforced error in the examination hall, what is called as the brain freeze or the stress or anxiety. We may take any n number of names for that, but ultimately it is the OMR that is actually evaluated. So finally, and in this ruthless world, it is the results which are rewarded and efforts are not. Everybody will ask you, क्या हुआ? आपसे ये नहीं पूछेगा आपने बहुत मेहनत करी, अरे कोई बात नहीं. The problem is that in this ruthless world, everybody goes for result. And again, I am telling you that because a single exam is not worth, please develop your emotional quotient. Now try to develop a self-belief. You must be having self-awareness. So just a few days back, a few weeks back, the Prime Minister of the nation was talking to the students. And this is the precise line. This is the precise point that he also mentioned, that if you think that you are having some problem, first please be self-aware. Try to think of the situations where you are likely to lose your cool, where you are likely to undergo brain freeze, where you are likely to lose your temperament, where there can be an emotional time wastage, and try to avoid those situations. So you will be able to take care care of the situations much better. So everybody will be faced with situations. So situation आएगी, life में problems आएंगी ही. There would be situations, no doubt about it. Everybody faces them. It is your response that may actually vary. Whether you are reactive or you are proactive, that is a separate issue. Success वहां पर decide होती है. सबकी life में situation आती है. यही, this is what I always tell students: be aware of yourself. So self-awareness is the first step for developing a very strong emotional quotient. You must be absolutely sure. You must be absolutely sure about the your motivators as well as demotivators. जब आंधी आती है तो बिल्कुल सीधा जो दरख्त खड़ा होता है वो गिर जाता है, लेकिन जो flexible है वो बच जाता है. And please do not be very hard on yourself. Do not be very rigid in an approach. There is not only a single way to achieve a success. किसी भी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में भी जाने के कई तरीके हो सकते हैं, और प्रैक्टिस में ये चीज आपको पता चलती है. When you do your SWOT analysis, X is not working, so I will take Y. So this flexibility will give you more confidence, and always have a positive attitude towards the life. जिंदगी में आप हमेशा ये सोचिए, if you believe in somebody, अगर आप किसी भगवान में किसी भी चीज में विश्वास रखते हैं, तो ये जरूर सोचिए कि जो वो कर रहा है अच्छा कर रहा है. Whatever is happening with me is happening for good. This takes away a lot of anxiety, and always try to give your best. Always try to give your best. Do not think of the result right now. वो आपका सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं है. आपका सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस अब से लेकर के 17 तारीख तक आप कितनी मेहनत कर सकते हैं, उससे आप रिजल्ट चेंज कर सकते हैं, बजाय ये सोच के कि पेपर कैसा आएगा, what will be the physics paper, how many questions from the NCERT, will it be difficult, what will be the cutoff. These are all irrelevant things. Please do not ponder. That is why it is very important not to go to social media. They create a monster out of nothing. So this monsters are created in the brain because there is so much noise on in the social media. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody talks as if they are the gods of and they know everything. And I'm telling you that this is very, very detrimental to the mental health of the average student. Please do not get distracted. So you will have plenty of time after 17th of July. So if you keep this social media at bay, and you practice, as I told you, the self-awareness, have a general positive attitude towards the life, take a very good sleep. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is very, very important. Keep yourself hydrated. A light exercise will be very, very good, and go for quality entertainment. And everybody needs a mentor. There must be somebody on whom you rely a lot, and the best way to get help is to ask, and always keep your mentor ready, and please ask for help from the mentor. And even the parents must be very, very supportive to the students. I think these are the basic parameters which should keep these procrastination, anxiety, stress related issues at bay, and you should be able to do very, very well in the NEET entrance examination. जी सर.
डॉक्टर इनका एक बड़ा पिकुलियर सवाल है. They said please speak in English और हिंदी और इंग्लिश.
Okay.
We will try to keep, हम दोनों में बात करेंगे, इंग्लिश में भी और हिंदी में भी बात करेंगे. ठीक है.
जी.
क्वेश्चन ये है, हाउ टू टेक इंटरेस्ट इन स्टडीज.
ओके सर, इसका मेरा बड़ा सिंपल एग्जांपल है. ये किसी सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक की बात कर रहे हैं क्या? इज इट फिजिक्स?
नहीं, वो कह रहे हैं कि वो मेरे को इंटरेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है स्टडीज में. बड़ा पिकुलियर क्वेश्चन है. अब बोलते हैं सर प्लीज मेरे क्वेश्चन को आप आंसर करिए, हाउ टू टेक इंटरेस्ट इन स्टडीज.
हाँ सर देखिए,
ओके, I think Dr. N.K Sharma is having some network problem. So I will try to attempt and answer this question. No, it is not. देखो, इंटरेस्ट आता है जब आपका गोल आपके सामने क्लियर होता है. How much interested are you in becoming a doctor? If you have got a great passion to become a doctor, believe me, interest will happen automatically. पढ़ाई में इंटरेस्ट आएगा. अगर आपको अपना गोल हासिल करना है, अपना जो एम है जिंदगी में, जो उद्देश्य है उसको हासिल करना है, उसके लिए आपको अपने आप ही सब्जेक्ट में इंटरेस्ट आएगा. बट वी आर अपेयरिंग फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन फॉर द सेक, अगर तुक्के में मेरा आ जाए तो ठीक है, तो फिर आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं आएगा. नाउ टू टेक इंटरेस्ट you have to have passion for the goal which you have in mind. Dr. N.K, over to you. I was telling them to take interest, they must focus on the goal and have passion for the goal. If you have passion for the goal, interest will automatically come in what you are doing.
Yes, and think one more way, sir. One more way. Once you start understanding the basic topics, I think the interest is natural. Are you getting the right guidance? Are you talking to the right people? Are you having the right company? Are you in the company of the people who have general positive attitude towards the life? Are you in the company of the people who are actually problem solvers rather than problem seekers? So this is also very, very important. As sir said, the number one thing is obviously your passion. You have to think of your inner calling. You must be absolutely sure that yes, this is what you actually want to do, because once the interest actually starts with passion, and if you want to do something and you have a passion for something unnatural, it is but natural that with time you will develop interest as well. But please try to look at the company that you keep as well, because as you know, again I am telling about biology. It is a well-known fact that in genetics we teach that even the human intelligence is a polygenic trait, and polygenic traits are easily influenced by the environment. And that is why we say that even during the development of the child, we always tell parents not to be very hard on the child, not to be very, very tough on the child, just be encouraging, because everything adds up to the psyche of the person. And this is one more point that I wanted to ask you, that just think about what are the people that you are taking advice from, and think about this very, very clearly. जी sir.
इसका एक और बात है कि how to take interest in study. देखो, I will tell you one thing.
जी sir.
That how you develop interest in studies is that if you are trying to cram everything and mug up everything, interest will never come to you. Because you are trying to learn and cram up certain facts. Not everything is required to be crammed. There are something which you need to cram. Some dates you need to cram, some names you need to cram, because they do not require any concept. Lekin majority of the things, they require you to understand the concept. और मैं आपको अपने तजुर्बे से बताता हूं कि अगर आप कंसेप्ट को पकड़ लेते हो और कंसेप्ट को समझ लेते हो, तो आपके दो फायदे होते हैं. एक तो आपको इंटरेस्ट आने लगता है, और दूसरी चीज ये होती है कि आपका रिवीजन उतना आसान हो जाता है, आपको रिवीजन में कम टाइम लगाना पड़ता है, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट नाउ ट्राइंग टू मग अप, यू आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई अ पर्टिकुलर थिंग हैपेंस दैट वे. तो इसलिए अगर आप पढ़ाई को अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कंसेप्ट की तरफ से देखोगे और क्रैमिंग की तरफ से नहीं देखोगे, तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली उसमें इंटरेस्ट आना शुरू हो जाएगा. आप चीजें ज्यादा अच्छी तरीके से समझोगे, उनका एप्लीकेशन और अच्छी तरीके से कर सकोगे, और एग्जामिनेशन के टाइम में आपको कम स्ट्रेस होगा, बिकॉज कोई भी सवाल घुमा फिरा के आएगा, आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपको कंसेप्ट क्लियर है. सो प्लीज ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कंसेप्ट्स रादर देन मगिंग अप द कंसेप्ट्स. You will keep on forgetting it.
इसीलिए मैं ये कह रहा था सर कि यही this is indirectly I was saying कि if you are putting a lot of effort and still not getting an interest out of the subject, and try to think whether you are getting help from the correct person or not. This is what I was trying to actually indirectly say, sir, because my teachers used to tell me that if I am going to class 95% times and I have an attendance of 95%, sir, my medicine professor used to tell me that I do not fail students if the students come to the class for 95%, they have attendance, which means that I have not been able to teach them. So this is again, this may be, that is why I asked whether there is a specific subject that this student is facing trouble in.
Yes, student is saying, I am totally zero in physics and chemistry. What can I do?
हाँ. So first and foremost, आप पहले तो एनसीईआरटी पढ़िए बेटे, अपने आप पढ़िए, थोड़ा टाइम लगाइए, एंड डू नॉट टेक एनी शॉर्टकट. एक रीडिंग लगाइए किताब की अपने आप, and then there are hundreds of things available on the internet. Do not get distracted. Then you can watch some videos, you can talk to your teacher, and believe me, इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. एक बार खुद काफी ज्यादा टाइम लगाइए. कई बार सर बच्चे जो बहुत हल्की किताबों से पढ़ना शुरू कर देते हैं. पहली जो रीडिंग है आपकी स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट बुक से होनी चाहिए. आपके लिए जो स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट बुक है वो एनसीईआरटी है. इट इज नॉट सर्टेनली इजी, छोटी हो सकती है, लेकिन उसको कंसाइज करके लिखा हुआ है. कुछ चीजों में बहुत ज्यादा एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए. एजुकेटेड को हिंदी में पढ़ा लिखा कहते हैं. तो आप जो पढ़ते हैं उसको एक बार अपने आप लिखिए. जस्ट ट्राई टू थिंक कि आपने जो पढ़ा है वो आपको आता है कि नहीं आता है, और उसके बाद आगे मूव कीजिए. आप एक बार टाइम इन्वेस्ट कीजिए. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आप कुछ चीजों को बहुत तेजी से स्किप कर रहे हैं और बार बार स्किप कर रहे हैं और उसमें टाइम नहीं लगा रहे हैं. दैट इज द रीजन यू आर एक्चुअली डेवलपिंग एन एवल्शन फॉर द थिंग, एंड प्रोबेबली देयर कम्स इन द प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन देयर. जी सर.
What is the best way to increase confidence during examination?
Prepare hard. Put in the number of hours. The best prepared person will never be having any anxiety. It is as simple as that.
Does anxiety affect grasping concepts?
Yes. आपका दिमाग जब एक जगह फोकस ही नहीं कर रहा है बेटे, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम पूरा पेज पढ़ जाते हैं, लास्ट में हमें ये नहीं पता होता हमने पढ़ा क्या है इसमें. You read an entire page and suddenly you realize I don't remember the names of the people which came. I was thinking something else. And that is the problem with anxiety. And that is why again and again I am telling you that breathing control can be a big help to you. It can be a very big help. Or anything. You can just take a for example stretching exercise sitting in your examination hall as well. Anything that brings you back to the focus, to the present, is very important. Anxiety is bound to happen. We should know how to overcome it.
Another question is that, sir, I have anxiety and depression problems since the last 3 months. How to handle depression and anxiety during study hours? सर मैं स्ट्रॉन्ग वर्ड इस्तेमाल कर रहा है बच्चा. देखो बेटे, दिस मे बी, yes, anxiety I can understand. I think the second word you are using just as a common parlance. So in biology it has a certain meaning better. So there is a DSM-5 criteria. So please try to understand, this is again over catastrophizing. This is what I am saying. You only have anxiety, and what you need to do is, so there is nothing else. So you have anxiety, and please try to focus on your health, have quality entertainment, try to, as sir said, just sit for 45 minutes or 50 minutes at the most, and then take a quality break of 10 minutes, write down what you have read, and just make an inventory, so that once you make list, you know that these works are done, and immediately you will see that this thing will be coming down, and therefore the anxiety will be taken care of. And this is a very important thing. I request every student, just keep a logbook with you, and in the a day before, just think about that these are the 3 things that I will read, and they must be realistic. Again, taking to the words of sir, we have a very bad habit of making timetables and with very fancied goals. The goals must be realistic, they must be achievable, they must be smart goals, there must be some measurable thing. So after 3 hours, what I have in my hand, what is the tangible thing? So I will read 10 pages, say for example, in 3 hours. This is what I can actually do. And please sit for 3 hours, complete it, and log it in your logbook that I have done this, and just see in 10 days time the number of ticks that you have done in your syllabus immediately will give you more and more confident. अब आपका ध्यान इधर के बजाय कि क्या क्या बच गया, इधर भी जाएगा कि मैंने क्या क्या कर लिया है.
और ये क्या क्या कर लिया है, ये कॉन्फिडेंस देता है और एंजाइटी को कम करता है। अगर आप केवल ये सोचते रहेंगे कि मुझे क्या क्या करना है तो एंजाइटी बनी रहेगी, लेकिन अगर आपने अपने सामने एक लॉग बुक रखा और सीइंग इज बिलीविंग कहते हैं, उसमें सब में टिक करके आपको पता चला कि अरे ये भी मैंने कर लिया, ये भी मैंने कर लिया, आपका नजरिया बदल जाएगा। जी सर।
My parents are stressed about my NEET examination, and seeing them like this, I am
I am
feeling
stressed.
depressed. How to make them understand that I will do it?
Have a heart to heart talk, है ना? And the a very important thing about emotional quotient is empathy as well. So try to put yourself in the other's shoes. So they are your parents, they are the people who think about you even more than you. So they don't want to see you suffer from pain. Believe me, most of the parents do not think that it is a do or die situation about your entrance examination. No, किसी भी पेरेंट की, मैं भी एज अ पेरेंट आपसे बात कर रहा हूं, मैं केवल अपने बच्चे को पेन में नहीं देखना चाहता हूं. द आइडिया इज व्हाट आई एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम माय किड इज कि ही और शी शुड बी एबल टू गिव द बेस्ट एफर्ट इन द फील्ड दैट दे हैव चूजन अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर और ओन इंटरेस्ट. सो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पेरेंट्स आर लाइक दैट. हाँ, कई बारी हम लोग अपने व्यवहार से, अपनी बॉडी लैंग्वेज से आपको कुछ इस तरह की चीजें कन्वे कर देते हैं कि प्रोबेबली इट इज वेरी मच हाई एट स्टेक. ऐसा नहीं है. आप उनके साथ बैठेंगे, आप बहुत प्रिय हैं उनके साथ में, एक दिन बैठिए. हो सकता है काफी दिनों से आप लोगों ने कभी खुल के बात भी ना की हो, तो एक दिन बैठिए साथ में, चाय बनाइए, आप बनाइए उनके लिए चाय और उनके साथ बैठिए और उन्हें बताइए कि कब, कोई चिंता नहीं कीजिए, मैं अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रहा हूं. और जैसे ही आपको उनको दिख जाएगा कि आप अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं, बिलीव मी, उनकी एंजाइटी खत्म हो जाएगी. उनकी एंजाइटी ये नहीं है कि आप होंगे कि नहीं होंगे सेलेक्ट. उन्हें पता है जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है. उन्हें डर इस चीज का है कि कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि आप कैपेबिलिटी होते हुए, क्योंकि एफर्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, कहीं रह ना जाए और कोई पेन ना हो जाए आपको. जी सर.
करेक्ट. मेरे को अपना टाइम याद आ गया जब मैं एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन दे रहा था 1974 में. उस टाइम भी कंपटीशन ऐसे ही होता था
जी.
सीटें कम थी, लोग ज्यादा थे
जी.
तो मेरे फादर खुद डॉक्टर थे. उन्होंने यही सोच के रखा था कि मेरे बच्चों को तो सबको डॉक्टर बनाना है.
जी.
तो हमसे ज्यादा वो स्ट्रेस में होते थे.
जी जी जी.
ठीक है. मैं पढ़ रहा होता था तो मेरी छोटी बहन क्या करती थी, वो मेरे फादर के पास जाके उनको बिस्तर पे टक इन कर देती थी. फादर, गो टू स्लीप, ब्रदर इज स्टडीइंग एंड गॉड विल टेक केयर. ही इज पुटिंग इन एफर्ट्स, गॉड विल टेक केयर. व्हाट इज योर वरी?
जी जी जी.
If you will worry, then he will hurry, and then he will start worrying.
जी जी जी.
So tell your siblings to take care of your parents if you got a sibling.
जी.
Don't worry about brother. Don't worry about sister. They are all right. You remain all right. They will do well.
जी sir. जी sir.
Okay. So you can take care of your parents. This is how we used to do it in our time. But those days we had nothing, except for textbooks.
जी जी.
Okay, sir, please explain what to do when the NEET examination is near for 10 days. Any one subject to concentrate, or we can study model question papers of each subject?
I think the model question papers is a better idea out of the two options that you have given me. एक तीसरा ऑप्शन मैं आपको दे रहा हूं. तीसरा ऑप्शन ये है कि अब से लेकर के जो 10 दिन पहले तक का टाइम है, जो चीज आपके लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, द थिंग्स दैट यू डू कमिट मिस्टेक अगेन एंड अगेन इन, उनको एक जगह लिख लीजिए. एंड दैट इज द मंत्रा बुक दैट यू ओनली हैव टू रिवाइज अ वीक बिफोर द एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन. उस बच्चे की तरह काम मत करिए जो एक हफ्ते पहले भी सारी किताबें खोलता है, उसने लॉग नहीं किया. Just try to make your own notes. Just ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आपने से फॉर एग्जांपल एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम पढ़ा और उसमें आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आया. There would be a few points जो आपको नहीं समझ में आए. Please lock down those points only, and this is your master notebook that you have to revise again and again before the entrance examination. It's a very common thing. आप बच्चे हर बार एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में देख रहे होंगे, कुछ ही जगह है जहां पर आप बार बार अटकते हैं और कुछ जगह ऐसी हैं जहां आप कभी नहीं अटकते. तो आप बार बार एक किताब को खोल करके उस चीज को दोबारा क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं जो आपको आती है, और इसी वजह से आपका सिलेबस कई बार खत्म नहीं होता. होता और आपको लगता है अभी एक बार और पढ़ने की जरूरत है, तो अगर आपको ये पता है कि गुड एनफ इज गुड एनफ, इसमें से 80% मुझे आता है, केवल 20% की प्रॉब्लम है, उसमें से कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट लिखिए। और ये एक बहुत बढ़िया ऑप्शन मैंने देखा है कि हाथ की लिखी हुई चीज अगर आपकी किताब में होगी तो आपको बहुत चीजें याद आ जाएगी। जी सर।
एक बड़ा कॉमन सवाल है सर, हाउ टू टैकल स्लीप? बुक ओपन करते ही नींद आ जाती है।
तो स्लीप को टैकल कैसे करना है? ज्यादा नींद आ रही है,
कहते हैं बुक ओपन करते ही नींद आ जाती, वैसे ठीक रहते हैं, किताब खोलते ही
तो
नींद आ जाती है।
सो यू विल बी वेरी सक्सेसफुल। अगर आपको इंसोम्निया का इलाज मिल गया है तो आप जिंदगी में बड़े आराम से इससे बहुत पैसे बना सकते हैं। पूरी दुनिया की प्रॉब्लम है उनको नींद नहीं आती है। यू आर वेरी फॉर्चुनेट, आपको नींद आ रही है। नींद आ रही है तो एक नैप ले लीजिए 10-15 मिनट का। और थोड़ा सा अगर आपको लग रहा है कि किसी भी टाइम नींद आ जा रही है, पढ़ते ही नींद आ जा रही है, तो किसी तरह से, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं बहुत कंफर्टेबल एनवायरनमेंट में आप पढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा अपने आप को कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर लाइए, थोड़ा सा उठ के चलना शुरू कीजिए, किसी को अपने साथ बैठा लीजिए, एक स्टडी पार्टनर बना लीजिए अपना, अपने पेरेंट्स को कहिए कि वो साथ में बैठे आपके। ये कुछ तरीके से आदत आपको बनेगी और बड़ी आसानी से इसको ओवरकम किया जा सकता है।
करेक्ट। हम लोग ये बोलते थे कि अगर आप मेडिसिन पढ़ रहे हैं और आपको किताब खोलते ही नींद आ रही है, आप इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ना शुरू कर दीजिए, आपकी नींद खुल जाएगी, देन कम बैक टू मेडिसिन। ठीक है, तो मैथ्स पढ़ना शुरू कर दो बेटा, अपने आप ही नींद खुल जाएगी।
जी,
फिर अपनी किताब पे फोकस कर लेना।
जी जी।
Sometimes I feel like taking a drop for the preparation.
Okay. अच्छा, this is okay, it's natural, it's natural, it's natural, it happens to everybody, it happens to everybody. अभी सर ने थोड़ी देर पहले भी आपसे कहा कि टेक अ ब्रेक। आप जो है ये ब्रेक जो है, मतलब अब दिनों की हफ्तों की नहीं मैं बात कर रहा हूं, यहां पर कुछ मिनटों की भी ब्रेक हो सकती है, लेकिन उस ब्रेक में आप क्या करते हैं, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आप जाकर के अपना पसंद का म्यूजिक सुनते हैं, अपनी पसंद की कोई कुकिंग करते हैं, से फॉर एग्जांपल, ट्राई टू कीप योरसेल्फ एक्टिव इन दैट पर्टिकुलर ब्रेक एज वेल एंड ट्राई टू डू समथिंग दैट रिजुविनेट्स यू, एंड इट इज एब्सोल्युटली इंपॉर्टेंट। कुछ ब्रेक लेना बहुत जरूरी है, हो सकता है हर 1.5-2 घंटे बाद आपको जरूरत पड़ रही हो, आप करिए इसको, नथिंग टू वरी एट ऑल अबाउट इट। कुछ भी ऐसी, मैं इसमें कोई अनयूजुअल बात नहीं देख रहा हूं, अगर आपको ब्रेक लेने का मन करता है जरूर लीजिए। जी सर।
I think most of the questions that have now been answered, they are all repetitive.
Yes, sir.
So I think we have had a good session. Let me just
Yes.
check if there are some other interesting questions.
Yes, sir.
Which are left. Okay. So I think we can sum it up now.
Yes, sir.
And Dr. N.K, can we sum up with all the measures that they can take to have stress?
देखिए, ultimately please always remember that it is after all just an exam, and a single exam does not decide the worth of anybody. This is very very important to understand. This is a career of your own choice. आपका अपना पैशन है, you give your best effort. Do not think about the result right now. Do not think about the result right now. So think of the things that you can actually change. You can change your number of hours of study, all those things that you can actually bring a change into. Do not think about the things that may happen in future. Again and again I tell you that catastrophizing any event in future is actually breeding anxiety. Have a healthy lifestyle, have take some quality entertainment, and just invest time, hustle, grit, perseverance, and flexibility, a general positive attitude, self-awareness, a very strong EQ is much more important than IQ. Please keep practicing. Try to see the way that helps you to alleviate anxiety. We have just suggested one method of breath control. You may have something else that takes away the stress. Try to be always in a positive framework of mind. Keep your friends near, keep talking to a mentor. This is very very important. Whenever you are feeling low, whenever you are feeling any despondent, please talk to somebody. There would be somebody who will be helping you out. And as I say that always, the best way to get help is to ask help, and I think there should be no problem at all. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. N.K. Sharma, and I am sure the students must have benefited.
Yes, sir.
देखो, आपको सबको मालूम है कि एग्जाम में स्ट्रेस होना स्वाभाविक है. It is natural to go under stress. If you are not under stress, then you are probably in trouble. So you should have some amount of stress. What we call in medical term eustress. That is a normal stress which is required for you to keep putting in extra efforts. But don't let it go to the extreme. So if you make that Bell's curve, what is in the center is eustress, and what is on the side of the Bell's curve, that is your distress. So don't go into distress, but have eustress. Normal stress स्वाभाविक है, वो होना भी होना चाहिए. उससे आपको प्रेरणा मिलती है कि आप आगे बढ़ो, कुछ करके दिखाओ. अगर स्ट्रेस ही नहीं होगा तो आप रिलैक्स रहोगे तो आप आगे बढ़ नहीं पाओगे. तो थोड़ा बहुत स्ट्रेस होना जरूरी है, और उसके बगैर गाड़ी आगे बढ़ती नहीं है. लेकिन डोंट अलाउ दिस स्ट्रेस टू बिकम डिस्ट्रेस. एंड व्हेनेवर यू आर स्ट्रेस्ड, there's a common saying, when you are stressed, have a desert. If you reverse stressed word, it becomes DESSERT. Okay, so it becomes a desert. So have deserts. डेजर्ट में का चॉकलेट खाओ आप. मैं सही बता रहा हूं, चॉकलेट खाने से आपका स्ट्रेस कम हो जाएगा, लेकिन डेंटिस्ट आपको तंग करेगा बाद में. सो बी केयरफुल, हैव अ चॉकलेट बट गो एंड ब्रश योर टीथ. Okay, so whenever you are stressed, try to take a break. Try to have some recreation for yourself. Have interaction with your siblings, with your peers, with your parents. Enjoy music if you enjoy music. Do some meditation. Pray if you want to pray. I heard some lady, some young girl told that she prayed very hard. Every day she would put a small note next to her small temple. Dear God, please help me to get into AIMS D. And in the end, God listened to her and she got admitted into AIMS Deoghar. So she said, I made a mistake. I should have asked for AIMS Delhi. I took a shortcut and I got AIMS Deoghar. So when you pray, please be specific. What you need, what you desire. You want a government medical college, you want a private medical college, you want your own state medical college, you want All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, you want Maulana Azad. तो अगर प्रे भी करते हो दिल लगा के, तो पूरा प्रेयर करो, को शॉर्टकट मत लिया करो. Don't take shortcuts. Yes, yes, Dr. N.K. Sharma.
तो यज्ञ करते ना सर, यज्ञ. I think यज्ञ people will be available about यज्ञ सर.
Yes.
हवन करते हैं, हवन पता होगा
हवन
सब
करते हैं.
तो हवन में पहले वो आहुति देते हैं, स्वाहा. So it is what I give, swa. It is my offering, and I keep on swaha, 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 and finally ask the God something. So not right at the beginning I ask God for fruits. First, what is your swaha? आपने क्या आहुति दी है? What are the sacrifices that you are going to put in? What is the amount of effort that you are going to give in? ये वो स्वाहा है, ये वो आहुति है जो आप उसमें हवन कुंड में डालते हैं. एंड लास्ट में फिर आप गॉड से कहते हैं कि मैंने ये सब करा, अब आप मुझे कुछ दीजिए. सो वहां पर भी ये याद रखिए कि आपका अपना एफर्ट बहुत जरूरी है.
Correct. Okay, so dear friends, dear students, dear parents, this brings us to the end of this session. I hope you have been able to contribute in some way to dissipate and reduce your stress. Bottom line is study smart, study hard. Also stay away from social media. Take time to relax, to meditate, do breathing exercise. Take time to have some recreation. Do some meditation. Follow your study plan. Don't get overawed by your peers. Use their strengths to overcome your weaknesses rather than using their strengths to highlight your weaknesses. Have a good diet. Keep yourself hydrated. Take a lot of fluids and maintain a healthy sleep cycle. If you're able to do all this, you will probably not get into stress. Understand concepts. Don't try to cram everything. Okay, so with this brief outlook on stress, I hope you all have benefited. If you have anything else, please give your comments, Go to the Roots Education website, forward your queries, forward your questions. We'll try to come back to you with new answers. Every week we'll come across to you. If you want any subject to be discussed, any topic to be discussed, please let us know. We will go ahead and try to support you in any way that we can. And stay tuned to us. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Dr. N.K Sharma, for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Priya,
Thank you, sir.
you can just please close this with a few words from your side. Yeah, Priya, you're muted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. N.K Sharma, sir. I think this session will be a big relief to many of our students who have been continuously watching our channel, and they had so many queries related to how to handle the stress, not only the students, but also the parents also. So once again, thank you, Dr. N.K Sharma, sir, and Vice Chairman, sir. Thank you to you too. And we will very soon post the next topic that we will be live on next Wednesday at the same time. So stay tuned to our channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.